What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we're taking a look at a couple of brand new pedals from Wampler. The Triumph Overdrive and the Phenom Distortion, both part of the new Collective series. Let's do it! Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and what I do is I take awesome, high gain related guitar gear, I record it with a simple SM57 setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E-standard thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes that sometimes have trouble enunciating, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on your way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! Alright guys, so today is a first for me. We're gonna try a distortion pedal and an overdrive into a clean channel. Because today we are checking out a couple of brand new pedals from Wampler, the Triumph Overdrive and the Phenom Distortion. Now these are both part of a new series from Wampler, which is basically a more wallet-friendly series of pedals. Both of these pedals come in brand new at $99. Which, considering that they're built here in the USA, that's a great value. So both of these pedals feature two different voicings, which I also think, again, in a lower price pedal, really cool feature, gives you more tone shaping options. So in the Triumph Overdrive, we have a smooth voicing and we have a punch voicing. The smooth voicing is gonna be along the lines of your classic screamer type overdrive, but over on the punch side, this is kind of, to my ears, a much more aggressive and modern style overdrive. I mean, you can seriously push the front end, which we will show in this video. You can get some serious saturation out of the punch voicing on this Triumph Overdrive, and it's going to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more bright and cutting, but again, that 3-band EQ is gonna give you a lot of control over how that thing is gonna sound overall. So over to the Phenom Distortion, kind of the same idea. We've got two different voicings. We've got a bright and we've got a classic voicing. Both of these voicings have a ton of gain on tap, but in the classic setting, it's gonna be a little bit smoother on top. It's gonna be a little bit fuller in the mids. It's just a nice, smooth lead style saturation, but it also works great for somebody like me who likes metal rhythm playing and still wants a tight and percussive tone. This pedal is nice and tight pretty much all the way through the range of the dial, but you can seriously start pushing that bass if you roll that EQ up. And then over to the bright setting, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. It's gonna be brighter. Both of these pedals are designed to go in front of both the clean and the dirty channel of an amp, so I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about them. Let's go ahead and hear them in action. Now again, this is not my normal bread and butter style video. I don't even own a combo amp, which is most people are gonna be putting these on a pedal board in front of probably a clean platform in order to get all sorts of different tones out of these pedals and out of a single amplifier. It's not really what I do, but I have my triple rectifier here, which has a couple of nice settings that I think are gonna play well with these pedals. So don't you worry, we're still gonna get fully belligerent. And here is what I have going on the clean channel of my 3-channel dual rectifier, triple rectifier here. Here's what it sounds like when we kick that distortion in, and you can hear it's hot already. Now I'm gonna go ahead and guess that most people who are using this in front of a clean amp are not gonna go for that full crazy balls to the wall distortion like I am at the moment. You're probably gonna wanna go for more of a hard rock level of distortion. So let's pull that back a little bit. All right, so that's a good amount of gain already. Let's go ahead and bump that up. Still got a nice string separation there. We've got nice cut going on as well. I can actually probably pull the treble and the mids back just a tad. But just to show you, we can really kind of scoop those mids out of there even more. massive difference, but we can also boost them because we have a dedicated mid control. Let's bump that gain up just a little more. Let's pull that bass back and get a nice tight percussive. Let's go ahead and let's go over into that bright mode. So that really relaxes that lower mid, it sounds like. We can actually probably bring the mid back and bring that treble back a little bit. As you can see, a lot more top end grind on that bright setting though. Again, we still have plenty of gain, but if you want to back that gain down a little bit, what happens if we roll those mids back even more? Lows and low mids are starting to get a little bit round with those settings though. Let's pull the bass back on the pedal. Nice and tight. So as you can see, the EQ definitely has a lot of range to it. It is very interactive on the pedal. So that is the distortion. Let's go over to the Triumph Overdrive here. We currently have it set on the punch mode. So again, here is the clean tone. Here is the overdrive kicked in. Okay, so right off the bat, we've got a lot of volume, we've got a lot of mids, but our low end did not disappear at all. Let's pull those mids back just a tad. Maybe took out a little bit of high end. Let's go ahead and add some in with the EQ. So definitely has a nice kind of rock and roll mid to it. Let's go ahead and let's push that gain up. All right, so that sounds really good. Again, those mids are really pronounced. We even have them dialed down. Let's dial them back even more. All right, so that had a pretty noticeable effect. Let's see what happens when we push them the other way. So if you're playing into a super scooped Fendery type clean tone, that mid is gonna come in handy if you're trying to pull off some sort of Marshall style crunch. Let's go over to the smooth side. A nice gritty overdrive style tone. I think it sounds great. One thing that I forgot to show is how well the Phenom cleans up with the volume. All right, so it cleans up quite a bit. It doesn't get all the way there. Again, I am playing on a high output pickup here, but it does get you almost all the way to clean with a little bit of dynamics in your playing and with a ton of distortion on tap. So again, let's turn off the distortion. Let's go over to the pushed clean setting of the rectifier and let's see how this overdrive kind of can boost an already kind of dirty, gritty tone. Here's what happens when we kick that pedal in on the smooth voicing. All right, so big difference right off the bat. Let's turn the volume up just a tad and let's pull the mids back. Let's get just a little bit more treble on this thing. But say you want to keep some of that top end chime in, let's go over to the punch because that's going to be more aggressive on the top. I mean, that is like taking you to a whole other level of saturation. What happens if we just pull this gain down a tad and boost? And again, with the pedal off. All right, pedal on, we are gaining a lot of mids and a lot of saturation. All right, so let's try to match that fullness by pumping that bass. All right, so that sounds pretty cool. These aren't normally the tones that I mess with, but I'm having fun with this pedal, especially on the punch side. It's got a ton of output. What happens if we pull those mids back? It's sounding a little honky. There we go. We're kind of keeping that rectifier tone alive by pulling those mids back. And let's dime that volume because why not? That is a really cool overdrive tone in my opinion. I am digging that. Last but not least, we have to, in true belligerent amateur style, hit the front end of a high gain channel with this because it is an overdrive after all, and you guys know that I love overdrives. So we're gonna go over to channel 3. So just to start, everything at noon here, volume maxed, gain is minimum. Here's the bass tone that we have going on. Let's go ahead and kick the drive in. So that is a really smooth sounding overdrive. It's got a lot of mids to it actually. What happens if we just bump that treble up? It definitely is pretty smooth. What happens if we pull those mids back though? It's adding quite a bit of saturation. You can really push those mids in the front though. Let's pull those back just a bit. The low end is kind of staying intact because we do have this bass control. All right, so that is a really unique sounding overdrive. It doesn't really, in this mode, it doesn't remind me of anything when I kick it on in front of this amp. I think I'm gonna like it even better if we put it in the punch mode to get some more of those highs to start coming through. But the punch mode, again, that voicing does have significantly more output. So we rolled the volume back on the pedal. That's got a lot of top end aggression to it. Let's add some mids. Okay, so it's almost over the top by adding mids. Kind of gives that HM2 style grind. Let's actually pull those back to about noon. Again, just to show you the bass tone with the pedal off. And we basically have the EQ right around noon here. That really doesn't sound like any other overdrive I've ever used in front of a high gain amp. Let's up that bass a little bit. Let's up the highs a little bit. It's adding just kind of that cocktail mid thing in a good way. I think it's got a really cool color to it. Let's pull those mids back and try to flatten them out a bit. That sounds awesome. All right, right, dude, that is a really unique sounding overdrive if you're putting it in the front of a high gain channel. It kind of has that gritty Cocteau mid thing going on of an HM2, but much more controllable. It has a ton of output. It's got a lot of control over the EQ in general. I think that that's a really fun pedal to get a unique style high gain sound, something that's way different than a TS9 or an SD1. It is really gonna give you a different flavor overall. And then as far as the Phenom Distortion, I think it takes the character of whatever clean channel that you're putting it into quite nicely. It gives you the ability to boost those mids if you're going into more of a scooped clean channel. Today we were on a pretty MIDI clean channel and it just sat basically like almost like a rectifier style gain structure. It had a lot of low mids, but it was nice and tight on the bottom. There was a lot of saturation to go around. So yeah, again, overall guys, $99 each on these pedals. I think that's a great value considering what you're getting, and it's not just a tweak or a reproduction of something else that's, you know, already really common. They both seem to have a really cool and unique voicing to them. So if you guys are interested in grabbing the pedals, I'll make sure to drop a couple links down below in the description so that you guys can find those. They were released today. This is a brand new product. And I wanted to say thank you to Wampler and to Boutique Amp Distribution for sending these out for me to make a demo for you guys today. I had a lot of fun doing this video, but keep in mind, just because they sent me these pedals, this is a sponsored video. I am still giving you my honest thoughts and opinions, and they have not been able to see this video before I posted it. So keep that in mind. And if you want to support my channel, all my affiliate links are down below in the description. If this is your first time here and you like the video, do me a big favor, hit that like button on the way out, hit the subscribe so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.